It's Dean Obeidallah Show. It is Tuesday, October 13th, and we are 3 weeks from Election Day. 3 weeks. And here's better. Want to picture something fun? We are 99 days away from Donald Trump being evicted from the White House. I hope against his will. The small things in life keep me going. In any event, he's gone in 99 days if we come out and vote. Look at the polls. Donald Trump is getting crushed, not just nationally, but in the key swing states. Everyone he's trailing beyond the margin of error, all the key states. So what is Trump left with now? They're not going to win on ideas. The GOP knows it as well. So Trump and the GOP are left with one thing: cheating. That's it. Of course, they have lies and gaslighting. They've been doing that for the entire Trump administration. Now they've added cheating. Now on the lies and gaslighting, obviously it's all surrounding COVID. We saw that again last night. Donald Trump had a super spreader COVID event in Florida because not enough people there have COVID. And he mocked Joe Biden for having social distancing at his events. He had no masks. You had the governor there, Ron DeSantis, high-fiving people with no masks. And you wonder why Ron DeSantis has a 43% approval rating. And only Trump would want someone with a 43% approval rating to be front and center at his rally. But that's Trump, because who else supporting him has a positive approval rating at this point? Nobody. Then you had Rudy Giuliani lying, saying that nobody dies from COVID anymore. Not kidding. Rudy Giuliani literally said to an older crowd, no one dies from COVID anymore. You want to know the average in October? Nearly 750 Americans are dying every day in October. That is way more on a per-day basis than July. And right now, for the last 2 weeks, we're averaging over 50,000 cases a day. That's our 2-week moving average, up by almost 20%. The last time we hit 50,000 cases a day, the death toll about 2 to 3 weeks later hit 1,000 a day. It looks tragically that's where we are heading. So Trump is just upping the lying, upping the gaslighting. It doesn't end. He claimed he got the Nobel Peace Prize last night. He said he had 3 of them. That's a minor lie compared to the big lies. But the reality is, poll after poll shows Donald Trump's approval on COVID is around 35 to 40%. Meanwhile, 55 to 60%, depending on the poll you look at, disapprove of Trump's handling of COVID. It's remarkable to see what's going on. Nothing Trump can say now will change it. So he's gone to gaslighting. He actually ran an ad with Dr. Fauci in it. And a quote of Dr. Fauci saying, "I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more." And there was Trump in the picture. Dr. Fauci was not saying that about Trump. He said that months ago about the federal government's response to it, not Donald Trump's. They didn't ask Dr. Fauci for approval. Dr. Fauci has asked for it to be taken down, saying it appears that he's endorsing Trump. He said he's never endorsed any political candidate in his 5 decades of public service. Trump doesn't care. How does he respond? He mocks Dr. Fauci today on Twitter, mocks him for saying he didn't want masks. The only time Dr. Fauci and the CDC said no masks was early on in March. By April, they've been saying wear masks. Every day, wear masks since April. Save lives. Trump ignores that. And then Trump also claimed, again, he keeps repeating this lie. We've got to address it. He keeps repeating this lie that if Trump didn't do what he did, over 2 million Americans would have died. 2 million people have not died in any country. You can't go like, well, look at that country. They had 2 million or 1 million. Want to know the country that has the most death? This country, the one Trump is president of. We have nearly 220,000 deaths. To give you some perspective, we're only 4% of the population of the world. We have 20% of the world's deaths. We are far and away the worst in number of deaths. And that is all tied to Donald Trump's failed handling of this. So you got the gaslighting, you got the lying. So now the cheating comes. And the cheating started last week with Trump's BFF, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas. What happened was they were allowing absentee ballots to be returned by hand. And you could return them to a county clerk. But various counties, especially Democratic-leaning ones, were adding places you could return the ballots. It is a time of COVID. Why not make it easier? Plus, Texas has really big counties. It's a huge state. Some places you have to drive 2 to 3 hours to get to the county seat to return it. So counties like Harris County put up 11 different locations simply to return your absentee ballot. But Greg Abbott doesn't want that because as he knows the truth, the more we vote, the more we win. The bigger the turnout, the bigger the victory for Democrats. So what does Greg Abbott do last week? Goes, no. You can't have all these locations. You can only have one per county. Thankfully, on Friday, a federal judge said, that's unconstitutional. It's unreal. You're equal protection violation. You're discriminating against those who are disabled, people of color. That looked good until late last night. What happened? Federal Court of Appeals, three Trump appointees go, nope, it's completely fine what Greg Abbott is doing. Folks, there's no common sense basis for not allowing more than one location to return your absentee ballot, unless your goal is to cheat. Unless your goal is voter suppression, because voter suppression is cheating. Encouraging people to vote, making it easier to vote, that's the American way. The Republican way, cheat. So in Texas, they're cheating. Now in Georgia, they're cheating. Yesterday was the first day of voting in person. What did we see? Massive lines. Sounds familiar? Yes, during the primary, the same exact thing. People call it a catastrophe. They call it voter suppression. Did they learn? Apparently they did. The Republican, Brian Kemp, who was the governor, made sure to do the same thing again, this time in the hopes of cheating and making sure the state doesn't flip blue, because it's right on the edge. It is a state that Donald Trump won by 5 points in 2016. It is neck and neck. They are not just margin of error. They are neck and neck. Biden and Trump and John Ossoff in the Democratic race, in the race for Senate there, is neck and neck with David Perdue. He could win that as well. So they're doing everything they can. It is voter suppression. And then there was an interesting study I found, 2019, University of California found that residents of entirely black neighborhoods waited 29% longer to vote than white neighborhoods. And 74% of black neighborhoods had to wait at least 30 minutes to vote. Another study from 2017, University of Pennsylvania, found non-white voters, black and Latino, are 7 times more likely than white voters to wait in line for more than an hour to vote. Think about that. Black and brown voters are 77 times more likely to wait over an hour to vote over white neighborhoods. That's not happenstance. That's by design, because in these Republican states, they understand black and Latinos are breaking for Democrats. In fact, they're overwhelmingly voting for Democrats. So they're doing everything they can to prevent them from voting. These studies also found that usually if people see there's going to be a huge wait like this, it will lower turnout. Makes sense? This is actually self-voter suppression. That's their goal, to make it so painful to vote. You don't want to vote. That's their goal. And California, a state they're not going to win, but still they're doing their best to help some of their Republican candidates for Congress and down ticket. The Republican Party admitted putting up over 50 deceptively labeled official voting boxes. It's like decoy voting boxes to return your ballots. And they did it all over. They did it in LA County, Fresno, and Orange counties. And yesterday, the Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, said, this violates state law. Governor Gavin Newsom said Republicans are so desperate that they are cheating. This is cheating, my friends, all of this. It's not the end. We are 3 weeks from Election Day. They can't win on ideas. What are Republican ideas? Tax cut for the wealthy, impose the Bible as American law. Yeah, there's a base for that, but teeny. The rest of Americans want the ACA. The rest of America believes in democracy, make it easier to vote. They want health care. They don't want to get their pre-existing conditions no longer covered the way the GOP want it. And the list goes on. They've got no idea. So what the Republicans have is cheating. And here's the thing. They're hoping that they can cause you not to want to vote. They are hoping, the Republicans, that you're going to be like, it's too much work. I can't drive an extra hour. I can't wait an hour. Well, maybe in normal times this would work. I can't speak for you, but I can tell you this just pisses me off more. This makes me more angry. This makes me more determined to ensure not only I vote, that we do everything we can to make sure our fellow Democrats and any American who opposes Trump has an opportunity to vote. So make a plan to vote. Make sure your friends and family have a plan to vote. We're going to win this election. Stay angry. Stay focused. We're going to win this in 3 weeks from now. We're going to be celebrating. And in 99 days, when Trump is let out of the White House, we're really going to celebrate. My show's live 6 to 9 p.m., Sirius XM channel 127. Hope you'll check it out. See you there.